Welcome to Gracefully Booked, a Christian romance podcast where we love to discuss Christian fiction, especially the mushy-gushy happy endings. We love stories, but never forget the greatest love story of all, which is the love Jesus had for us when he died on the cross to pay the debt we could never hope to cover on our own. I'm your host, Tanya Wood, and I'm so thankful you're here today. Let's start off with a small prayer, and then we'll dive into today's episode of Gracefully Booked. Heavenly Father, thank you for another opportunity to be here to gather with the listeners, Lord, who are here to find new reads, to the authors who are hoping to get their books into the hands of new readers, Lord. I pray, Lord, that the connections are made today, that whoever is listening today, that you know their needs, Lord, and that they will find the right book for them. And Lord, I just thank you for everyone who even gives this blog a chance, Lord. I hope that by listening that they can feel closer to you today, that I may say something that can help them with a situation, Father, or a decision that they're having to make, Lord. But most of all, Lord, I just pray that you will be with them today. Let them feel your presence, Lord. Go with them through this day. Keep them safe, Lord, and help them along the way. And Lord, I just thank you for everything. I give you the praise, the honor, and the glory in your holy name. Amen. Hello there, everybody. I hope that you are having an amazing Friday. I know that most of us get really excited about Friday because that means we have the weekend to look forward to. And for those of you that may have to work this weekend, I promise I understand what you're going through. Been there many times. So I am going to share a couple of books with you guys today, and I'm going to start it off with a book by Sarah Beth Williams called A Worthy Heart. It was published on July 7th of 2019. It has 65 ratings with a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It is available on Kindle for $3.99 or paperback for $19.99. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. Joel Bennett has always known Serena Hayes as his sister's gregarious best friend. In the 3 years since Lacey began college, Serena became a regular house guest, but lately, she's absent more than not. When Joel discovers she's in an abusive relationship, protectiveness from within roars to life. With only a part-time job to support her and nowhere to go, Serena fears leaving her current relationship would jeopardize her chances of graduating college. After a brutal attack leaves her no choice, she courageously moves out. On her journey toward regaining confidence, self-worth, and independence, Joel falls in beside her, encouraging her. The way he emulates godly love and compassion draws her close, not just to him, but to the God who can satisfy her longing for love better than any man. Attraction sizzles between them, but events from their past cast shadows of doubt. When the unthinkable happens, can Serena open her heart to a second chance at love, or is she destined to be alone? This is a very sweet cover on this one. It's holding her from behind and she's looking up at him and smiling. But what I can tell you is that it just gives me butterflies when it said the protectiveness from within roars to life. I'm just a sucker for stories like this, but when there's a guy that has been in the background the entire time and all of a sudden he sees that his damsel is in distress and he just wants to protect her, oh, it gives me goosebumps. That's a good sign. So, Sarah, I am adding this to my wish list and I will get it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for letting me bring your book on here and tell folks about it. Y'all be sure to check it out, come get it, and let's help Sarah get more reviews on her books. With that said, I would like to encourage everybody to always leave reviews for books. I know that some people are hesitant because maybe they didn't like a book very much, and I understand that, and that's fine. But if you read a book and you enjoy it, please leave a review. Author out has 65 reviews on hers, and that's awesome. But I know that there's some people that struggle just to make it to the 50, and when you make it to the 50 reviews, they finally start putting you in the algorithm for Amazon so that other people can find your books. They start recommending your books to others. Like, if you read this one, then you might like this one. So just keep that in the back of your mind going forward. I can't leave reviews on Amazon, unfortunately, because I have a seller account. And so it's very tricky with that. And they just walk the straight and narrow with those folks because they can get you for anything. So I just have to be really careful. I said though, I do review a book. I try to put it on my blog. I try to put it on Facebook. I put it everywhere that I can for folks to see. And actually, I'm working on a website to be able to do more for authors and readers. So stay tuned for more news on that. We're going to move on to the next one. Right, the next one that I would like to share with you is by Anna Lee Nelson, and it is from the Hatfield Falls, and then in parentheses, Don't Tell series. This is book one of three, and it is titled Don't Tell Mom I Have a Girlfriend, a faith-filled sweet romance. All right, so here we go. It says he likes her, she likes him. There's only one problem, his mother. Will Bennett hates to fail, and for most of his life, he's managed to avoid any horrible disasters. That's no easy task when building a business. Taking on the largest building project he's attempted to date, helping his little sister start her adult life, and keeping his Jane Austen loving "When are you going to marry mother" from driving him crazy. Lacey Welsh is cautious, and just the sort of lady Will might consider as his happily ever after. But how does a guy get to know a girl and decide if she is the one when he has a mother who tends to go overboard at the smallest hint of a romantic entanglement for one of her boys? According to Will, the answer is simple: keep your girlfriend a secret. If Will thought steering clear of disaster before adding in the secret relationship was hard, now it just might be impossible. If you like sweet romances that give you all the feels while not forgetting about grace and faith, then download Don't Tell Mom I Have a Girlfriend and fall in love with Hatfield Falls today. Alrighty? So this was published on November 6th, 2021, a day after my birthday. And it has 127 ratings, a average of 4.5 out of 5. The Kindle edition is $3.99 and the paperback is $14.99. I do like the cover. A little bit colorblind, but I'm pretty sure that the bottom half of this cover is orange. If I'm wrong, then I'm sad. But then it has a smiling couple on the front, of course, and I like the font that's used. That could just be the designer in me that's saying that, but I like it. And it has two other books in this series as well, and they are Don't Tell My Heart It Can Heal and Don't Tell Anyone I Read Romance. That's clever. I love that. And actually, that one was just released. So make sure that you go check out all three of these books. And again, this is by Anna Lee Nelson. And the title is Don't Tell Mom I Have a Girlfriend. Every time I put this into the search bar, it kept trying to correct it to another name. And then it's like, or do you want to go back to your regular search? And I'm like, duh, put in the regular search if that's not what I wanted. So anyway, yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you letting me know about your books, Anna Lee. I am adding it to the wish list, and I can't wait to check it out. Everybody else, make sure that you go check it out too and support Anna Lee. All right, so we are on with the next one, which is going to come to us from Danielle Grandinetti. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She says, I'm a hybrid author. My indie books are 1930s historical romance. And I have went and looked up her books and they all look really good. But I settled on the Strike to the Heart series. And book one is called To Stand in the Breach. This was released on December 18th, 2021. And the paperback version is $12.99. The Kindle version is $3.99, and it is also available in Kindle Unlimited. And actually, okay, yeah, I thought that was not right. I was on the paperback version. Publication date of the Kindle version is October 12th, 2021. So I do apologize for that mishap. All right, we're just going to dive right into it. It says, in this page-turning tale of loyalty and danger, visit small-town Wisconsin during the dairy strikes of the Great Depression, a sibling's best friend inspirational romance. She came to America to escape a workhouse prison, but will the cost of freedom be too high a price to pay? 1933 Wisconsin. Large animal veterinarian Katie Wells takes her patients' welfare personally, so it's no surprise when she stands up to angry farmers planning a milk strike or takes in an injured draft horse to save its life. But after a visitor from the past discovers her location and reveals a threat, she must choose between her work and her freedom and whether to trust a man to keep her safe. Right, so the cover for this book has a woman on it with light colored eyes and dark hair, which I just immediately was drawn into that because she just looks so strong, like she's been through so much with this book. And then, of course, it has a horse on the front of it, and everybody loves a horse. It has 176 ratings with an average of 4.1 out of 5. And the other two books in the series are called A Strike to the Heart and As Silent as the Night. I actually had a really difficult time trying to choose which one to go with that I wanted to tell you guys about because all of her books sound really good. So please be sure to check out Danielle's book, To Stand in the Breach, and that is Danielle Grandinetti. Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing your book with me. I appreciate it, and I'm going to add it to my wish list, and y'all be sure to go and check her out. Up next, I have Teresa Smizer, who says, "Thank you, Tanya. I have 4 historical romance books in my Warrior Bride series. You can read about them at my website, www.teresasmizer, or Amazon. I'm an indie author." Well, Teresa, thank you so much for reaching out to me and letting me know about your books. I went on there and I looked, and immediately with the first book, there's something about the tone of it. Okay, this woman, very pretty woman, wearing such a regal dress, and she's like in a corridor and it's dark and she's just looking off and you just wonder immediately, what is she staring at? And this is the Warrior Bride series. She says there's 4 books in it, and the first one is called The Warrior and Lady Rebel, Warrior Bride Book 1. So I'll just go ahead and read the blurb to you guys. It says, "Lightning and thunder crash around her as Elizabeth runs from her pursuer. She rests for only a moment, or so she thinks. Castles, swords, men of war. Elizabeth is stunned. How did she arrive in England? Who brought her here? As she struggles to uncover the events that landed her at Fairwick Castle, nothing is as it should be. Danger surrounds her. Forced to put her trust in the arrogant Lord Nicholas Fairwick, Elizabeth prays for God's intervention." Well, I really love castles and swords and men of war, so I'm excited for this book. And this was released on June 1st, 2021. Oh boy, that's awesome because that means it was released 4 days before I got married. See, I'm just weird about dates. I always have something to say about it. This book has 44 ratings with a 4.7 out of 5 stars. You can get the Kindle version for $4.99, paperback for $14.99, or the audiobook for $0 with a membership job. So I like this cover, and then when I went down further to look at the other books in this series, they all have beautiful covers, and they just seem to get prettier as they go. So be sure, guys, that you check out The Warrior and Lady Rebel, and this is by Teresa Smizer, and I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the wish list. It's getting longer and longer every time I look at it. But that's okay. That's a good thing. We are not complaining. I don't believe that you can ever have too many books to read. And that's kind of what we're here for, right? All right. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gents, we are moving on to Carrie Trumbo. And she says, "I write historical Western romance and contemporary romantic suspense, and I'd love to chat." Well, Carrie, I went ahead and looked up your books, and I love the covers for your Wayside Ranch series. I love how they just match up so beautifully. Oh, as a designer, I applaud this. Whoever made your book covers, they really knew what they were doing. I'm so impressed. I love it. Okay, so this is the Wayside Ranch series. There are 7 books, and the first one is Operation Restoration. This has 651 ratings with a 4.6 out of 5 stars. It was released on February 24th, 2023, and guess what? Doing the date thing again. February 24th is my nephew's birthday. All right. I'll try to stay away from it, but I can't make any promises. It's $2.99 on Kindle. It is in Kindle Unlimited, and the paperback is $12.99. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in and read the blurb. Junior Morrison walked away from her to start a life with the military. Now he works at a special ranch to help rehabilitate victims of human trafficking. When his boss is challenged to fix his one regret, he passes that challenge to all his men. Junior wants to see Gabby, the woman he left behind, again, but how can he explain that he's not the man he was before? Gabby Lofton's abandoned her girlhood dreams of marrying Junior and went off to school to be a counselor, convinced she could help others heal where she couldn't help herself. Her life is not full, but she gives wherever she can. When Junior calls her to come help with a patient, Gabby is skeptical. Why call her? Especially when the ranch is an hour away and he hasn't talked to her in 10 years. She can't deny she's curious, and what she finds at the ranch draws her in. She wants to help, but more than that, she wants to know what she did to make Junior walk out of her life, because she wants him back if he'll accept her. When Gabby unwittingly leads a victim back to her trafficker, Junior and Gabby, along with the team at Wayside Ranch, must keep her protected. If they don't, their ranch and all the people safely living there could face their worst enemies all over again. Well, that's how you do it right there. I am already invested in this story and I've not even started it. So I am excited to read this and I'm going to add it to the list. And then I'm going to go down here and let you guys know that aside from the beautiful graphics that they have put in from the publisher, oh, that's so pretty. I can't even remember how to get to that stuff. It's been so long since I've published a book. Oh, that's not for this conversation, though, is it? What I wanted to let you guys know was that it is ranked 138 in Christian mystery and suspense romance, number 143 in Christian suspense, and 164 in Christian mystery and suspense. So, if anybody was curious what genres this is ranking in right now, that is them. And every single one of these books in this series just has such a beautiful cover. I cannot get over it. Bravo, bravo. All right, Carrie. Everybody go check out her books. Operation Restoration, Book 1 of Wayside Ranch series. All right, the final book that I'm going to share with you for this episode is called At First Glance from Susan L. Tuttle. It is from the Along Came Love series. There are 3 books in this series. It has 327 ratings on Amazon with a 4.5 out of 5 average. It is available for 99 cents on Kindle. It's in Kindle Unlimited, and you can get the paperback for $13.24. So, of course, right now I'm just going to go ahead and go add that to the wish list. Guys, I can't find my Kindle, and I am devastated. I have to hunt it down so that I can start reading these books. This was published on November 1st of 2018. And I found Miss Tuttle. She commented on my post in the Avid Readers of Christian Fiction group, and she is wanting to discuss her new series that she has out. I think it is called Treasures of Halstead Manor. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And if you listen to this, Miss Tuttle, I would love to discuss that with you. I am planning interviews and hopefully I'll have those rolling within the next 2 weeks or so. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about this book and make sure that you go grab it 99 cents right now. All right. Estate planner Penny Thornton loves dusting off items others gloss over, especially since she relates to feeling tossed aside for the bright and shiny. When her younger sister's approaching wedding launches Penny back into the throes of her dysfunctional family, she decides to use the festivities to close the gap in their relationships, even if it means appeasing them and finally losing the few pounds they've hounded her about for years. But she doesn't expect to meet 2 very different men in the process. East Fisher, the personal trainer who personifies everything she believes she could never attain, and Jonah Black, a man who reminds her so much of herself. Both men are more than they appear at first glance, and each seems interested in her romantically. As Penny uncovers their hidden layers, she discovers when it comes to love and matters of the heart, she's got a lot to learn about estimating value. All right, and this is written for the general market at the bottom, which is the first time that I've came across one of these, but I'm always up for learning and seeing what folks are doing with their books. But it says it contains little or no sexual dialogue or situations or strong language, may also contain content of an inspirational nature. Amazon customers who purchase the print version have the option to purchase the Kindle ebook at no charge. I had no idea they even still offered that, but it's been a long time since I've published on here, so I'm going to have to relearn everything, and that is scary. But anyway, that's interesting. I have seen people, that put warnings and stuff at the bottom with their blurbs, and so that's interesting. I've never thought about writing anything for the general market, but that seems like a good idea. If people are wondering about things, and I know that when it comes to this genre and wanting to stay focused on the good and the uplifting and just the wholesome and not what we used to read, it is nice to know before diving in. I wish that most people would be transparent like that. And this is a conversation for a whole other day, but it's just like with trigger warnings. Back in the day when you picked up a book, and I'm talking like in the 90s into the early 2000s, sometimes you were just in for an adventure. You had no idea what you were about to read unless somebody else had read it previously and they told you about it. So sometimes when you got a book and you opened it, you just had to hold on and hope that, there wasn't anything traumatic in it that was going to scar you. But today there are a lot of people that have a preference for authors to put trigger warnings at the beginning of their book or somewhere in the about section, just so that they can be warned, because there are some subjects that people prefer to avoid, and I respect that. I understand it. There are certain topics that I myself get very uncomfortable reading, but that's also an author's prerogative on whether or not they want to do that. So anyway, with all of that said, guys, make sure that you go check out At First Glance by Susan L. Tuttle. I will post the cover in the YouTube video. I really like the colors, but I'm a blue and pink kind of girl, and it's very pretty. I like the colors of it very much, and whoever did this, the fonts that they put together, the font pairings are very pleasant to my eyes. So again, this is only 99 cents. Go snag it up, and I still have to find my Kindle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for another episode. I know that it started with Happy Friday, but the truth is that this is being uploaded at midnight Saturday night going into Sunday morning. So I just want to wish you all a very safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget what it's for. Don't forget the sacrifices that have been made for our freedom. I have an uncle who served, and he never made it back home, at least not the way that they wanted him to. I know a very wonderful family in town that, I think it's been over 10 years ago, but, there's a mother who misses her son and two brothers that miss their brother, and I am just so grateful. Words cannot express, and, oh boy, in John chapter 15, verse 13, it says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." And may we just never forget that. May we never forget the sacrifices that have been made. So pray for those families. Think of those families. And I hope that everybody has a safe celebration this week. And before I go, I would like to ask you to check me out on TikTok under Gracefully Booked PC, Twitter or X as GB Podcast 24, Facebook, Gracefully Booked Podcast, on YouTube, Gracefully Booked PC, and of course you can email me at gracefully.bookedpodcast@gmail.com. And also, as a quick reminder, I do offer book cover and formatting services. So if you are ever in need for any of those, just reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. But thank you so much for joining me and listening to this episode. I'll be back with another episode very soon, and we should have a schedule worked out within the week. So thank you so much. God bless you. Please be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. And a quick P.S. I do have a giveaway going on my Facebook page, so go check it out. It is the pin post. Help me to reach 100 subscribers on YouTube and 100 likes on Facebook, and I'm giving away a beautiful coffee mug. So, all right, guys, have a great day. God bless you. Talk to you soon. This has been Gracefully Booked with Tanya Wood. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've found a new book to enjoy, and in turn will tell a friend. It's always a pleasure to share books, but may we always be attentive in sharing the gospel. May God bless you always. Until next time.